like conclusive information, like stupid stats, because you can bullshit stats. If something doubles,
The way you say it is different.
The way you describe something can have a large effect.
Yeah.
on,
Exactly.
So you say double.
someone's interpretation.
Yeah.
But that's not really bullshitting the stats.
No,
That's,
it's not. It's just skewing the way.
misrepresenting the
Misrepresenting,
results.
Yeah, and so like that's what this video was doing. It was just saying, it was like they tell you it doubles, and it absolutely does, but from a minuscule amount to a little bit less of a minuscule amount, and that's what people don't know.
An absolute versus relative risk.
Yeah, exactly. And I thought that was really interesting because like I always thought about it. I kind of felt like I knew it wasn't true because of my mum. Like she had 2 extremely healthy babies, and her pregnancy wasn't hard either time. She had like gestational diabetes, but people at like 22 get that stuff. Like it's not a big deal.
Yeah, well, when you're looking at medical research and you're trying to interpret a result, the context of that result absolutely matters.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
I feel that a lot of reporting on medical research
doesn't do it justice.
It really does not do that justice. It doesn't go into the depth required for an actual understanding of what's being claimed. And like when I use an example of a relative versus an absolute risk, like if you're changing absolute risk from, say, over a 10-year period, say your risk of death is 10%, and you have an increase in that risk of death by riding a motorcycle to 20%. That's a significant change.
Yeah,
that's something that will affect your life. But if you've got an adjusted odds ratio of like 1 to 1.02, is that 2% change that could be like from, say, 10 to 10.2%?
Yeah.
Is that going to be something that'll sway your lifestyle choices?
No, probably not. Yeah.
So I mean, a motorcycle's a really good example. We can talk about the results of medical research and like whether you should use resveratrol and that sort of thing for ages. But you've got a 200 times risk per kilometer of dying in a motorcycle crash. I mean,
and there's that those ads that they have on TV. It's like every 5 kilometer or every kilometer over 60, you like increase your risk by that. It's that same thing.
Yeah.
That's hairy fairy.
What really frustrates me is that people present information, especially in text. I mean, I understand it kind of doesn't give the research its the credit it deserves. Because if you go, oh yeah, you're gonna quadruple your risk of dying or quadruple the risk of getting cancer, but then that risk
is effectively nothing.
That's
really
that is
important.
It's not a lie, but it doesn't represent the information.
An understanding of the relative and absolute risk is definitely something that people should consider when reporting this information at the very least, because you're dealing with things like when we use the example of resveratrol, like is the effect of that going to be significant?
Yeah.
Perhaps statistically, yes, but significant to a degree that someone should alter their lifestyle in order to approach using it and, say, managing their life and their diet and everything surrounding a treatment.
Yeah.
That's a completely different question.
Yeah.
Is there anything you do believe in terms of anti-aging? Can I keep this
I mean,
hairline stayed where it is?
I believe in resveratrol. I mean, there's obviously
How do you find that stuff? How do you find that stuff? Because this guy had like kilograms of it. Then you look online and it's like $100 per gram. So how do you get 10 kilograms of this stuff?
He could be illegally smuggling something.
How do you, as a researcher, can you hook me up with a wholesaler?
Of what?
Of anything. Legal.
Maybe not.
Not really.
Oh, man. Do I have to get a white card?
Also, I mean, there's things like, I mean, if we want to talk about lifespan extension, one way that's proven in most mammals, and I believe even primates, is a massive caloric restriction. But
right. Why would you do that?
Caloric restriction, because you can extend your lifespan by about a third.
Yeah, but you could live a better life by eating more.
Absolutely. We're talking being skinny, cold, tired, and hungry for the entirety of your life, and that's
going back
that's
to
again,
living
a lifespan versus a health span.
Yeah, that's going back to that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's I suppose it's kind of like I mean, it's not the same thing, but dogs, like a big dog's gonna live less than a small dog.
Because their hearts are the same size, right? And it's got to pump more blood through a bigger body versus a smaller body. I think.
General upkeep.
Don't quote me on that.
But it's like the general upkeep. I feel like
But-
the general upkeep of a bigger body is gonna.
My
take
first year
more
biology
strain
lecturer
than
told me that.
something on a smaller body.
Generally, the lifespan of a mammal scales with mass.
Yeah.
So why does a dog?
A smaller mammal will have a shorter lifespan generally, but I'm not entirely sure on
Bloody dogs, you broke it.
But what about?
It's probably due to them all being a single species and being a horribly
really diverse,
misbred. Yeah,
Mhm.
I suppose that's
there's a really good publication in I think it was the medical journal. The Journal of Medical Ethics. It's like talking about at least 10 years ago now, and it was it's like the parable of the dragon tyrant, I think is the name of it. I'd have to look it up.
Yeah.
But it's basically a story about a dragon that comes and attacks a town, and the dragon basically says, "Okay, I want all of your oldest, and I want this X number of people, X percentage of your population. I want them fed to me every year on this date. I want you to send them to me. And
Right.
I want to be able to eat them." And the dragon grows over time as the population of the village grows. And they send all the sick, all the elderly to the dragon to be effectively just be the tributes to the dragon.
Is this natural
give them all
selection?
to people that don't wash their hands.
Well, no, it's
Unnatural selection.
it's meant to be an example of how we approach aging and death and mortality. Because realistically, mortality is a problem we haven't solved.
Is it a problem?
Well,
Oh, okay.
That's the
All
argument
right.
of the parable.
No,
All right,
see,
Hitler.
that's what. No. See, I really like population dynamics, and that's really my interest. And I love where like people meet the environment. And I would describe myself as an environmentalist. I think that this earth is way more important than like my life or yours.
I honestly say that boat has sailed.
Absolutely.
We're at a point environmentally at the moment.
You-
where I think
There's
I
almost
think
no
I best
going
describe
back.
it as we're fucked.